Something planned against your person. This is related to recent moments when your spirit felt unusually quiet, when your thoughts wandered into reflection without you summoning them, when you sensed a gentle pressure urging you to look inward rather than outward. I speak now not to alarm you, but to awaken you. I am not revealing danger as humans define it, but unveiling transformation as heaven understands it. What has been forming around you is not meant to harm you, but to shape you, and it has been permitted because you are ready. You have wondered why certain doors slowed instead of opening, why conversations felt unfinished, why timing shifted without explanation. These were not delays of neglect, but pauses of preparation. I do not rush what must be rooted. I do not expose what must mature. There is a design unfolding, and it required stillness before movement, silence before clarity, and trust before understanding. You call it uncertainty. I call it alignment. What was planned is not an attack, but an intersection, a crossing of paths, lessons, and choices that would refine your discernment. I allowed you to sense it faintly so you would not sleep through this season. Awareness is not fear. Awareness is light. And I only shine light where growth is near. Recently, you felt a shift in how you respond. Things that once disturbed you no longer had the same power. Distractions that once held you lost their grip. This is because you are changing from the inside outward. The old patterns could not travel with you, and so they fell away quietly. That is why it felt unfamiliar. That is why it felt lonely at times. Transformation often feels like separation before it feels like purpose. Hear me clearly, nothing is being taken from you that you need. Nothing is being built against you that will stand. What is happening is a redirection, subtle, intentional, precise. I am guiding you away from what would have limited you and toward what will expand you. There were moments you questioned whether you were missing something, whether others were moving ahead while you waited. But waiting was not inactivity. Waiting was training. While others were learning speed, you were learning depth. While others sought visibility, you were being taught clarity. And clarity will carry you further than noise ever could. I speak in whispers because you listen with your spirit. I guide gently because you respond with wisdom. You do not need dramatic signs to recognize my presence. You feel me in peace that arrives without reason, in insight that comes without effort, in strength that appears exactly when you need it. Something planned against your person, yes, but not by hands of harm. It was planned by my understanding of who you are becoming. Some encounters were allowed to test your boundaries. Some disappointments were allowed to reveal your resilience. Some delays were allowed to protect your future self from a premature victory that would have cost you more than it gave. I know you sense resistance recently. Not outward conflict, but inward pressure. That pressure was not meant to break you. Pressure forms structure. Pressure reveals strength. You were never meant to avoid it, you were meant to pass through it refined. Do not interpret challenge as rejection. Do not interpret silence as absence. I am closer now than when everything felt easy. I am most present when you are being shaped, not merely comforted. You have been guarded without realizing it. Certain paths closed gently. Certain people drifted without explanation. Certain opportunities dissolved before they could distract you. This was not loss. This was mercy. You asked me once, perhaps not in words, but in longing, to lead you into alignment. I answered in ways only your spirit would recognize. What comes next will require trust, not urgency. Discernment, not reaction. You will notice invitations that feel calm instead of exciting. Pay attention to those. You will feel drawn to simplicity instead of complexity. Honor that. The next phase will not announce itself loudly, but it will feel right in a way that does not need validation. I am not preparing you for struggle. I am preparing you for stewardship of your time, your energy, your purpose. You are learning to choose wisely without guilt, to say no without fear, to move forward without needing to explain yourself. Do not rush clarity. It is already forming. I have seen your private questions, the ones you never voiced. I have seen your quiet strength, the way you keep going without recognition. I have seen your restraint when you could have reacted, your patience when you could have walked away. These were not unnoticed. They were counted. What unfolds next will not be overwhelming. It will be confirming. You will recognize it not by intensity, but by peace. Not by urgency, but by alignment. When it arrives, you will understand why timing mattered. Why waiting mattered, why becoming mattered. Remain grounded. Remain open. Remain kind to yourself. This message is not to warn you of danger, but to invite you into awareness. You are not being targeted, you are being trusted. Trusted with insight, with growth, with a deeper role in your own unfolding. And this is only the beginning of what I am revealing to you. I continue now, not to overwhelm you, but to unfold what has already been stirring within you. There is a reason your heart has been learning stillness. Stillness is not emptiness, it is space. Space is where wisdom settles. I have been widening your inner landscape so that what is coming will not crowd you, confuse you, or consume you. What is coming must be held with steadiness, not haste. And so I taught you how to breathe before I taught you how to move. You have noticed how your desires have become more refined. What once seemed important now feels distant. What once demanded your attention now fades quickly. This is not loss of passion, it is purification of focus. You are not becoming less, you are becoming precise. Precision requires restraint, and restraint is a language of maturity. Something planned against your person was never meant to overpower you. It was meant to reveal you to yourself. Every encounter that tested your patience, every moment that asked you to choose wisdom over reaction, every situation that required you to listen instead of speak, these were mirrors, not obstacles. I was showing you who you are becoming before you fully realized it. You have grown beyond certain cycles, and cycles always resist being outgrown. That resistance is not failure. It is confirmation. When growth begins, familiarity protests. Comfort questions change. But you were not created to remain comfortable, you were created to remain true. I have been teaching you how to recognize alignment without needing approval. There is a quiet confidence forming in you now, one that does not announce itself but steadies your steps. This confidence does not push, it knows. It does not compete. It understands. It does not fear delay, it trusts timing. You wondered why certain answers did not arrive immediately. Why clarity seemed delayed just when you thought you needed it most. But clarity given too early can become a crutch. I wanted you to learn how to stand in uncertainty without losing yourself. That is strength few possess, and fewer still cultivate willingly. The world often celebrates speed, but I honor depth. The world rewards visibility, but I value integrity. The world urges comparison, but I invite discernment. You are learning to walk a different rhythm, one that is not dictated by noise or pressure. This rhythm will protect you long after excitement fades. Pay attention now, because I am speaking through patterns. Notice what repeats gently, not forcefully. Notice what returns to your thoughts with peace, not anxiety. Notice what aligns with who you are becoming, not who you were trying to be. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. I have not been removing things from your life to punish you. I have been clearing space so that you do not confuse attachment with purpose. You do not need everything you once wanted. You need what sustains you, what sharpens you, what allows you to remain whole. There were moments you felt misunderstood. Moments when your silence was interpreted incorrectly, when your boundaries were questioned. When your growth made others uncomfortable. This was inevitable. Growth changes the language you speak, and not everyone understands fluency in wisdom. Do not shrink to be understood. Expand gently, and those meant to understand will recognize you without explanation. You are learning discernment not as suspicion, but as clarity. Discernment is not about seeing danger everywhere, it is about seeing truth clearly. And truth is calm. Truth does not rush. Truth does not shout. It waits patiently to be recognized. What lies ahead will require you to trust what you feel before you see results. You will be asked to step forward based on inner confirmation rather than external validation. This may feel unfamiliar, but you are not unprepared. Every moment of reflection, every season of pause, every quiet realization has been equipping you for this exact way of moving. Do not be surprised if opportunities arrive disguised as responsibility. Do not be alarmed if growth requires commitment rather than excitement. What is meaningful often arrives without spectacle. It settles instead of storms. It anchors instead of agitates. I have been teaching you the difference between urgency and importance. Urgency demands immediate reaction. Importance invites thoughtful action. You are learning to choose the latter, even when the former tries to distract you. This is wisdom taking root. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your understanding can expand without breaking you. Timing is not measured by comparison but by readiness. And you are becoming ready in ways you once prayed for without realizing it. Something planned against your person has already lost its power, because its purpose was never to stop you. It was to strengthen your discernment, to sharpen your awareness, to deepen your trust. And it has served its role. Now, I invite you into a quieter courage, the courage to remain steady when clarity begins to arrive. The courage to choose alignment over applause. The courage to walk forward without needing to explain your steps to everyone watching. You may notice that your intuition feels clearer now. That you sense when to engage and when to step back. That you no longer feel compelled to prove yourself. This is not indifference. This is confidence rooted in self-awareness. Remember, not everything that challenges you opposes you. Some things challenge you because they are shaping you. I allow resistance only when it refines, never when it destroys. And you have been refined gently, intentionally, patiently. The next phase will ask you to trust what you have learned about yourself. You will not need to become someone new. You will need to honor who you already are. You will need to listen to the quiet confirmations rather than the loud opinions. You will need to remain grounded when movement begins. I will not rush you. I will not pressure you. I will not overwhelm you. I guide with precision, not force. I lead with wisdom, not urgency. And I walk with you, not ahead of you, leaving you uncertain. You are not walking alone, even when the path feels quiet. Quiet paths are often the most intentional ones. Noise does not equal direction. Stillness often carries the clearest guidance. As clarity continues to unfold, you will recognize why certain things could not stay, why certain doors did not open, why certain answers took time. Understanding will arrive gently, not dramatically. It will feel like recognition, not revelation. Remain patient with yourself. Growth is not linear. Some days you will feel certain, other days reflective. Both are necessary. Both are part of learning how to move with wisdom rather than impulse. I speak now not to conclude, but to continue preparing you. There is more awareness to unfold, more alignment to reveal, more depth to uncover. You are stepping into a season where understanding replaces confusion, where peace replaces urgency, where clarity replaces doubt, and as this continues, you will begin to notice that what once felt planned against you has quietly transformed into something that now works through you, shaping your discernment, strengthening your spirit, and guiding your next steps in ways that will soon become clearer as you remain attentive, open, and willing to listen to the unfolding that has already begun. And as I continue to speak to you through moments, reflections, and gentle confirmations that will lead us further into what has not yet been fully revealed, because this message is still unfolding, and I am not finished speaking, and what comes next will build upon everything you have already sensed, as you stay present, grounded, and ready to receive what continues. I speak now to bring this message to its resting place, not as an ending of guidance, but as a sealing of understanding. You have come through a season of listening more than speaking, observing more than reacting, and trusting more than controlling. This was not accidental. This was preparation. I have been teaching you how to recognize truth without force, how to move without fear, how to stand without resistance. These lessons were quiet because they were meant to become part of you, not performances you display. What was once unclear is now beginning to settle. You may not yet have every answer, but you have something far more valuable: discernment. Discernment allows you to move forward even when the full picture is not visible. It allows you to choose wisely without needing certainty. It allows you to rest without losing momentum. I want you to understand this clearly. Nothing that has happened recently was meant to diminish you. Every pause strengthened your awareness. Every redirection refined your priorities. Every unanswered question expanded your patience. You were not being withheld from something good, you were being guided towards something fitting. There were moments you felt the weight of expectation, yours or others. Moments when you wondered if you should be further along, louder, faster, more visible. But I was teaching you a different measurement of progress. Growth is not always loud. Alignment is not always celebrated. But both are powerful. You are learning how to remain calm in the presence of uncertainty. That calm will become your anchor. You are learning how to trust inner confirmation over external pressure. That trust will become your compass. You are learning how to let go without bitterness. That release will become your freedom. What lies ahead will unfold naturally, not suddenly. It will feel like continuation, not interruption. When it arrives, you will not feel shocked, you will feel ready. That is how you will know it is aligned. Do not look back with regret. Look back with recognition. You did the best you could with the understanding you had, and you allowed yourself to grow when growth was offered. That is wisdom. That is courage. I have not called you to carry everything. I have called you to carry what matters. Simplicity will be your strength. Clarity will be your guide. Peace will be your confirmation. As you move forward, remember this. You do not need to rush what is unfolding in the right time. You do not need to fear what no longer fits. You do not need to prove what is already evident in how you live, choose, and remain grounded. I will continue to guide you, not always through words, but through understanding. Through moments that feel right without explanation. Through choices that bring peace instead of tension. Through direction that aligns with who you are becoming. Stay attentive. Stay patient. Stay kind to yourself. What was once perceived as something planned against you has completed its purpose. It has sharpened your awareness, strengthened your discernment, and deepened your trust. You are no longer in that season. You are stepping forward with insight, steadiness, and readiness, and now, as this message comes to rest, carry this knowing with you. You are guided. You are prepared. You are aligned. Walk forward without fear. Listen without urgency. Choose without doubt. I have spoken what needed to be spoken for this moment. The rest will be revealed in its time. Amen.